Hi everyone! So for today's video, as you can see, I'm right here in my kitchen now and I'm gonna show you guys how to cook the number one traditional cuisine in the Philippines, which is called pork sinigang. So just to give you guys a quick introduction of this recipe, pork sinigang is consist of pork meat, of course, with different vegetables, and it is tamarind soup base. So in the Philippines, this is everyone's comfort food, as it gives you just the right amount of sourness and a bit of spice. Yep. We also call it Sunday's favorite because obviously Sunday is the day dedicated for family time, and pork sinigang is just the perfect dish that is surely on top of list of every family member's preferred dish to be served on the table. Yeah, you heard it right. But since this recipe became popular, it is almost being served in every special occasions that we Filipinos celebrate in and even out of the country. Also, if you guys are wondering what the word sinigang means, actually it's a Filipino slang and there's no exact English translation of that word. But basically, it's a stewed form of a dish, which means it is being cooked in a slow matter of time. In addition, pork sinigang also offers some health benefits. Since pork sinigang is refreshing despite that it is served hot, the tangy taste that it has could actually cause cooling to one's system, especially when someone is like having a slight fever. Lastly, this recipe has a lot of different ways to cook it, but for today's video, I'll be just doing my own way in cooking this recipe. So yeah, without any more delays, let's jump into the video in 3, 2, 1, boom.
So for this recipe, you can also use beef or prawns depending on what you like. But for me, I prefer pork ribs. So as you can see it, guys, the pork ribs is already pre-boiled. I actually pre-boiled it earlier for about 10 minutes just to take out all the impurities of the meat. Next thing you would do is to put water in it. Next is you need to put the onion together with the garlic, tomato, and lastly, the taro. After putting the first 4 ingredients, you will need to cover it with a lid and bring this one to boil for about 45 minutes to 1 hour, or until the meat is already tender and so as the taro. So if you guys are wondering why does this recipe needs a lot of water, it is because by the time that the meat is already tender and so as the taro, there is still enough broth left in it. Now that it reached the peak of its boiling point, I am now going to put this seasoning to taste. For everyone to know, I am using this as an alternative because I am not using salt. After 45 minutes, I'm pretty sure that the meat is already tender, but what I need to know now is if the taro is already mushy. So what I'm gonna do next is to get a piece of taro and double check on it if it's already mushy. At this point in time, yes it is, but I need to put it back. As for me, I want the taro to be excessively mushy. So I just need to wait for a little bit of time, roughly 5 minutes will do. And for the next ingredient, I'm gonna put the radish now, together with the short beans. Alright. Also, give it a quick stir and simmer it for about 5 minutes before adding the tamarind powder. So at this moment guys, I'll be now adding the tamarind powder in it. In this part, you get to decide on how much would be the level of sourness that you would prefer. After adding the powder in it, just give it a quick stir for the powder to dissolve. For this recipe guys, I always like my pork sinigang to be a little extra sour, so I'm adding some more of the tamarind powder. Simmer it for about 2 to 3 minutes. Next is I'll be adding now the hot chili pepper just to give the dish a bit of spice. Simmer it for about a minute. And for the last step, I will be now adding the bok choy. So probably this will always be the last vegetable that you need to put in, as we don't want this to be overly cooked. So what I normally do is just to put this on top of everything. Yep. Cover it with a lid. Switch off the stove and let it sit there for a minute and it's done.
And I'm back. So probably that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and I hope one day you're gonna try cooking that recipe as well. So yeah, so it's the moment of truth guys. I have the pork sinigang with me now and I am so ready to taste it. And yeah, here we go. Wow, I just love how it tastes. Like I said earlier, it offers you a perfect combination of sourness and a bit of spice, and that's what makes it very refreshing when you taste it. Yeah, and it's not just that. It is also a perfect dish for this cold type of weather here in Canada. So yeah. Excuse me, guys. So that's it for today. I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye.